So this has to do with the state of Colorado. I usually mention it a lot, especially on Chicago Corner, which I'll give you guys more heads up later on. It's going to be a very important episode. But I usually talk about how they legalized cannabis, but it's, it has a huge budgetary surplus. But now there's something else good that's going on. So Daniel, because I made a mistake, correct the record.
I will do so. And also, Colorado, Denver specifically, just decriminalized magic mushrooms, so another good thing.
Yeah.
So Colorado is becoming the first state to put a cap on how much people can be charged for insulin. Fantastic. Something that all of Europe has already done, much of Canada has already done, a lot of the other. But America, we're finally getting around to it. So diabetics in Colorado who use insulin to control their blood sugar levels won't pay more than $100 per month for the drug starting in January. A bill that was signed into the law by Jared Paulus on Wednesday. And so he says that today we will declare that the days of insulin price gouging are over in Colorado. And presently, the cost of insulin can go up to about $1,000 a month, and for people who have poor health insurance, who don't have health insurance, this is an enormous issue. So the law doesn't limit what insulin manufacturers can charge insurance companies, but it does say that the insurance companies can't then charge the people that are using it. They expect that this will, though, cause a couple of cents increase per person per month within Colorado, because it just spreads out this cost a bit more, since they're not directly going after insurance, because I don't actually think they legally can go after the insurance in such a way. They would definitely get sued and probably lose. But nonetheless, people who are diabetics won't die because they can't afford their medication, which I think is a great win. And the law also, and I really like that they have this in this law, also requires the Attorney General, Phil Weiser, to investigate why drug manufacturers started rapidly raising the price of insulin in recent years. Now, that goes to an earlier point in the article where they said that, insulin's been around for over a century, or nearly a century, yet the prices have doubled and tripled and quadrupled and such since 2012. So that's part of why they're doing that, which I really appreciate. Of course, they're going to get to the point that we're being ripped off. But the fact that they have that as part of the law, and they have to put a report on the findings by November 2020, I think this is a great step forward. I think this helps the idea of Medicare for all. And again, this is Colorado taking another progressive step forward and making sure people that are diabetic don't lose their livelihoods, don't end up homeless, and can afford their medication.
Again, you have to look at other countries and how they're able to have affordable medicine and treatment. Whereas here in the United States, the American taxpayer is being ripped off. Because last I checked, I think it's the American taxpayer that's helped funded a lot of these research and studies to create insulin or other curable, medicine to help people with ailments or diseases. And yet time and time again, we have to pay out of the nose. And even our wonderful United States Congress, our neoliberal Congress, even voted for, said that Americans cannot go to Canada to buy more affordable drugs because, it's not safe, even though what they have in Canada
drugs.
and in the United States are basically the same thing.
Probably from the same manufacturer.
Heaven forbid that a drug manufacturer's bottom line get hit.
But the only people who always get screwed over are the American people. So, good on the people of Colorado. Specifically, is this the city of Denver, or is this
Colorado?
The Colorado,
the state of Colorado.
So basically, the Colorado state legislature, which I'm assuming is made of both Democrats and Republicans, are basically stepping up, acknowledging something's wrong and questioning it, and helping out their constituents. That's fantastic. It's a rare example of some form of government working here in this country, especially at the state level. Hopefully our Illinois government is going to do the same thing too. Illinois State House and Senate, Governor J.B. Pritzker, talking to you guys too, because you have people here, paying or making decision on whether or not they take their medicines or not, or whether they pay their bills. It's something to take into account, Paul.
So I have to take my regular tack of taking a story that Daniel says, look at something good happening, and I need to say, well, hold on, let's be skeptical a little bit.
Let's hear it.
We need to stay vigilant. This isn't a for sure win. Okay, so in Colorado, starting next year in January, right? There's a cap for what insurance can charge.
Yes.
Right? So that's an insurance law in Colorado. That's good, right? They won't be charged more than $100 a month. So now insurance providers that operate in Colorado are incentivized to negotiate for better drug prices. Hey, who can get me insulin cheaper because I gotta foot the bill for it? Whatever you're gonna charge me, I'm gonna have to pay. Who's got the best price? So this is the argument for why Medicare for All is really good, because if you have one giant risk pool, you could have a lot more bargaining leverage. If I'm not gonna buy your insulin for $1,000 a month because this guy's gonna give me one person's dose for $110 a month or whatever. It's a better price, so you're going to negotiate prices down. Republicans in general are making the argument that insurance markets are stifled because they can't do interstate trading. If they get that pushed through, interstate trading would become allowed. Colorado's laws about how insurance works don't apply. Now all insurance companies just moved to Indiana, which has the laxest insurance laws of any state in the country, and they can sell it to everyone everywhere in the country. Now, even if you're a Coloradan, the Colorado laws don't even apply, and you have to go back up to that higher cost per month because that's what the insurance company wants to do to get the most money. This can very easily be unraveled. It's good for right now, but if they push through that, over state lines thing, it's done. Like, no benefit comes from this. This is why we need Medicare for All. We need to say we want a large risk pool, and so we're going to have a federal large risk pool. You other insurance companies, you go ahead and operate. Feel free trying to compete with a risk pool of 350 million citizens. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So I want to I agree with all of that. I think that, to me, this is a blip of something's happening in the direction that it usually doesn't. And we've seen Colorado, first to legalize cannabis, first to decriminalize magic mushrooms, and now even agree. It's like this is something that could be unraveled. It's not a strong bastion of we can take this and replicate this all over the state. I know that we're not going to get in that path, but this is still the government making drugs more affordable in a democratic system in a swing state.
Colorado is proving to be the drug-friendliest state.
Yeah, but key is that when the election happens in 2020, I feel like this is going to help Democrats.
Okay, and the thing is true. This should also help push forward the concept of Medicare for all and affordable health care here in this country.
It's a symbol.
Yeah, it's a symbol. Yeah, it's a symbol, but it's something that the Democrats can effectively use. Most notably, Senator Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, and to some extent Elizabeth Warren. They've been fighting for single-payer health care. They've been calling out for it, and this kind of takes away the thunder away from people who are still quiet about single-payer health care, like sleepy, creepy Uncle Joe, cousin Joe, aka Beto O'Rourke, and nephew Joe, Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, and there's one other very small point I want to put out there, which is that we know that if people don't always talk about the cost of not doing something, people don't talk about the cost of the modern system of how much does it cost when people who have diabetes don't have easy access to medication. What happens to sick days? What happens to productivity? All those GDP statistics.
Emergency room visits.
Emergency rooms. So if you factor in all of these, I wonder if Colorado will have a decrease in overall healthcare costs.
But to my point that I make every time when we talk about medical insurance and the case for Medicare for All is it's not about saving money for them. It's about making it cost as much as possible because of that financial feedback.
I completely agree, but I'm saying that this might show Colorado. Colorado might in 5 years produce a study that said, look at that, it's way cheaper because we do that.
I'm not trying to diminish this win. This is a win.
Again, I'm just saying
we cannot rest on our laurals.
No.
The problem is not solved yet.
This is not a win. This is like moving one brick into the construction of a castle.
I would call this a stepping stone.
Good analogy.
It's a stepping stone for us to get to Medicare for All, because somehow the rest of the international community, our neighbors up north, Canada, and everyone else have managed to figure out how to have single-payer health care, affordable health care in which their citizens can buy affordable medicine and drugs. But somehow we haven't figured it out. So again, it's just another issue that we have to get involved in. So good on the people of Colorado, good on the Colorado legislator as well. Illinois legislator, why don't you take some notes from Colorado? It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. That's all I'm saying. But hey, did you like that video? Well, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification, hit that thumbs up icon, so that way when we upload more content to the Heartlands Media YouTube channel. So Daniel, what else can we do to really put everything into this?
Well, we've invested everything we have into this company, so you can help us out by going to our Patreon page and giving us the equivalent of going to Starbucks once a day, which I think is about $50. Please help us out. We want to build more and grow. We will see you in the next video.